it's Supermoon Tarot here, back at it again with another pick a card on this beautiful, beautiful morning. The bugs, the birds, they are all chatting it up. It's super early, as you can see by the sun on the table over here. And today we are going to be answering the question, how will you meet your soulmates? So we're talking about what place you're at in your life, what events have to happen, all that kind of good stuff. So we've got group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pick your group, go down to the description and time slot below, and let's get started with group number 1. Group number 1, how will you meet your soulmate? Let's start off with laying all the cards out. We've got cleaning house, the Chariot upright, Queen of Swords, 6 of Cups, 5 of Cups upright, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Devil in reverse, the Strength card upright, Queen of Pentacles upright, and 8 of Pentacles upright. Okay. Give me a second. I'm just going to move some stuff over too so you can see the whole spread better. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's talk about how you're going to meet your soulmate. A big thing that defines your meeting with your soulmate is the places you're at in your life, both of you. So we start with cleaning house. This is definitely, this card and the Strength card are definitely the theme for both of your situations you're in. So start off with the cleaning house oracle card. This is all about getting rid of those exes that just keep popping up in your life and distracting you. Crappy friends, block them. The trash in your car, get your life together. But honestly, this is just about a massive spring cleaning going on in your life. You not only need to be available and open and not distracted to be able to meet your soulmate, but when you finally get rid of them, there is a lot of, in the 6 of Cups, satisfaction, a lot of positivity. This is going to kind of create the momentum and the magic that's going to lead to you guys finally meeting and getting together. So we have the Queen of Swords being carried through the Chariot into the cleaning house card. Queen of Swords is all about having kind of a very matter-of-fact, objective, seeing things as they are type of state of mind. You are taking this mindset into the cleaning house with the Chariot because the Chariot's all about action, gusto, making it happen. You're going to evaluate the things in your life you don't like that make you feel doubtful or, compromise your belief system that, you keep making excuses for. The Chariot card and the Queen of Swords cards is like, no more excuses. We're focusing, we're making it happen, we have a plan, we're getting rid of them. We're not wasting any more time and energy on them. And the best way about going about that is removing emotions. Just look at their actions. What have they said and done? Does it make you feel great? Does it spark joy? So you're going to carry that through into the cleaning house. But the Chariot also talks about how you're at this time in your life when you meet your soulmate, you feel very focused. You've got a plan. I see that plan being carried through in the Queen of Pentacles and 8 of Pentacles, but we're going to get there. You're just feeling immensely confident from this. This is where you're getting your strength from getting rid of these people. Now, once all of those people are out of your life, those things, anything that brought you down, anything that didn't make you feel your best, this leads to the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups is all about like absolute satisfaction. You feel completely, you're in your prime. Everything's going great for you. You have no complaints at work, with the friends you have left. You're completely satisfied mentally, spiritually, everything. And isn't that funny? Isn't that how it always seems to be? It's like you're looking for this person in your life. You're like, where are you? I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Where are you at? And then once you kind of stop and you take care of everything else in life, and you technically don't need that soulmate or twin flame or that person anymore. They just seem to pop up. So that's where you're at in your life when you meet them. Your soulmate, on the other hand, totally opposite situation going on, which is really cool and interesting. You both still share a strength theme going on here, because that's where, but where you're getting your strength is totally different, two different things going on. So you've cleaned out your life. You're, the girl or boy of the hour, and you're feeling amazing. On the other hand, your soulmate has kind of come out of a rough situation. With the Devil card in reverse, it talks about breaking a negative habit. Now, I see a bit of an addiction thing going on, like they've broken some sort of habit in that way, but this is a general reading, so that really that's kind of case by case situation. Either way, there was a loss. And again, I'm not getting a actual somebody passed away type of situation. I'm getting a loss of themselves. Maybe they experienced something traumatic and they really lost an essential part of who they are. If the Goblin card was here, that would be a definite. But they could have, maybe they are no longer talking to a friend or family member that really, made them upset. Whatever it was, they developed this really bad negative habit that caused to mask their feelings, and that kind of put them in an unfortunate situation for a while with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Wheel of Fortune in reverse is all about struggling. Bad luck. Things were not going great for them for a while because of this bad habit. But the wheel is a wheel. What comes up must go down, and what goes down will come up. Nothing's ever permanent. It's kind of like you just ride it out type of thing. So they broke this habit. They stopped it. They finally woke up, and when they made that decision to do that, it was a bit of a struggle. It was tough, but they're finally accepting the loss of what made them start the habit in the first place. And they're becoming a better version of who they are. But they're a little rough around the edges. Sometimes when we experience this type of positive change, it's a bit jarring, and we need to focus on a project. It's like when you experience an abusive relationship in any format, a negative relationship, and you've only ever experienced this. When you come out, the first time you experience love, you're just like, I have no idea what it looks like, what it is, but I'm looking for it. I'm looking for something. So this person in their life is looking for something like a project to focus on to rebuild who they really are. This is where you come in. This is where your event comes in. This is the Strength card. So you found your strength in cleaning out people, and they found their strength through breaking habits. And this is when we lead to the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is all about creating something out of nothing. It's beautiful. However, we're not talking about work. We're talking about maybe you started a festival. Maybe you created a charitable fund. Now, these are very large, grand scale ideas. It does not have to be that grand. If you're like, I do not see myself starting a festival anytime soon, don't worry. We're talking on any format, but I see it helping the community and benefiting others. And I also see it with the Eight of Pentacles being an extremely satisfying thing for you. It's kind of like your destiny, you're just completely in the flow of it when you're going about creating this project. So you're feeling completely satisfied, and you decide, what, I want to finally approach and do this thing. It's going to help everyone else, and you're in the momentum of doing that. And this is when your soulmate pops up. They're looking for a project to focus on. They're naturally drawn to your strength and energy. They have it themselves. They know, they kind of they've been through things, and they have a deeper appreciation. They're more empathic to kind of be down with what you have to offer. They're no longer you were distracted by crappy friends. They were also distracted by bad habits themselves, and they no longer are caught up in that, and they want to help other people as well. So this is somebody who would be working under or with you. This could be maybe some person that's just setting up a stage for you, that type of thing. But this could be someone you maybe reached out to because you need them to fund your project. Whatever that situation is, that is how you two get drawn to each other. They get drawn to your kind of like your zest, your positivity, your strength, your empowerment, and they're at a better place in their life to be there with you and be there for you. And there's just kind of nothing in your way, honestly, when you get together, which is great. So this overall is like a pretty wonderful, like, you know, overcoming, like, what's the word? Your self-improvement type of vibe for both of you. So this is great. So I hope you're excited and looking forward to meeting your soulmate. I certainly am for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like or subscribing. It helps out the channel so much. But either way, thank you so much for enjoying this read with me. Have a lovely day. And let's get ready for group number 2. Let's see, how will you meet your soulmates? We have the Oracle card Talisman. We have 7 of Pentacles upright, Queen of Pentacles upright, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Wands upright, Queen of Cups upright, the Moon upright. Ooh, the Moon in reverse right after. Ace of Swords, and the Magician in reverse. Okay, give me a second. Let me just look at this. Okay. All right, so this is pretty interesting because the last spread I just did was all about how when you're going to meet your person, this is kind of like where you're at in your life. This is the event that happens. For you, there's going to be kind of a way about going to meet your soulmate. And I'll get kind of deeper into that. But that's something important to keep in mind, because you're going to need to understand these like signs and events so that you don't accidentally lose them in the process of like courtship and all that positive stuff. So let's start off with the Oracle card Talisman. Talisman is awesome. It's kind of like you finally earned that wisdom from your previous experiences, and now you're applying it to, you know, carve out your path in life. When there's an obstacle, you finally know what to do. You no longer keep, you know, going back to the same people, making the same bad habits. It's like things keep happening to you for a reason, and the universe is trying to be like, wake up, please, I'm trying to teach you something. And you finally are like, I've heard the message. I understand now. That's an important theme to hold on to as we go deeper into this spread, because there's a potential for like anxiety and doubt to go on here, and you need to understand that you know what to do. You're going to make the right choice. Everything's okay. So one of the most important cards of this entire spread here is the 7 of Pentacles. This is kind of like the most defining thing that kicks off everything else when you guys meet. So when you meet, you're going to do something you've never done before. You are going to lie it all out on the table for them, literally. And you're just going to say, this is what I'm about. No more, you know, messing around. This is what I want. This is who I am. This is what I expect. And this isn't about coming off in a very aggressive way, but just more of a like matter-of-fact kind of way. Just being like, I'm not trying to lie to you, but I'm also trying not to waste your time or mine. And it's going to be really raw and vulnerable. And this is where it gets a little rough, but this is where you got the Talisman to kind of like has your back, and you know what to do. Everything's okay. But when you are so vulnerable and raw to them, you're going to have to then let them decide what to do next. You can't just be like, okay, I put everything out there. We're dating now. It is what it is. Like, you now share everything that you have on your mind. They're going to kind of take the wheel. You're going to have to let go of some control here. But don't worry, this is your soulmate. It does end blissfully, but it's a bit of a raw and vulnerable time period. Now, we got a bit of a clear, like, it's like, I feel like I'm getting the same message like 8 different ways in just this one tiny little 3-part of the spread here. So in the Queen of Pentacles, it talks about being independent and self-made. You know, you know, which is a very empowering, positive card, but it's actually saying in this particular case, no. You are going to be and need to learn to be dependent. build something with this person, you need to approach them in a way where you're saying, listen, I'm going to let you take the wheel. I'm going to take the wheel with you. I'm going to share my wheel with you, so to speak. And be vulnerable in a way, and kind of, it's very intense putting your trust in someone. And you're going to have to do that. That is how you guys get together. Because in the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it talks about dissatisfaction. Something that you're working on, that you were working on, it just isn't, it's not working out. And you need to approach it in a different way. The Queen of Pentacles is in the center, if you notice, and she's looking away. She's distracted. She's just so happy and independent, she can't be bothered with any other message. And the Eight of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles are looking away from her. They don't want to have anything to do with her. So, and keep in mind, this, I'm not trying to like send out the message of being like, do every single thing with this person. It's just like, this is a bit of the kind of attitude you're going to go into this relationship. You're going to experience something you've never had before. Now, I do want to say something important. Next time you go out on a date, don't just tell them everything. Like, trust your intuition and what you've already learned, that like, you're not even going to need to think about it. You'll know when to do it and who to do it with. Just kind of follow your gut, clear your head, know you've got this, and that the tides will sway in a way you've never felt before with this soulmate, which is like, I mean, isn't that how it always is? So we go off with the Page of Wands and Queen of Cups here. We've got a bit of a this is them, this is you type situation. On one hand, they have never experienced love like this. It's not uncommon to meet your soulmate or twin flame, and they've had, maybe countless really deep and long-term emotional relationships with other people, and then they meet you, and it's wonderful, but they have some sort of a past. This person does not. You are kind of their first. This is why we have a little bit of that, them taking the wheel and potentially taking a longer time. In fact, I do see a very long, drawn-out thing, but we'll get to that in a second. They're taking it in. They've never experienced it before. This is like, as much as it's new for you to be very vulnerable and raw, it's very new for them to have love in this depthful way. And then this is you here, Queen of Cups. You're kind of going with the flow. You're being patient with the situation. You're putting you're offering and letting them know you're open and available, and they're interested. But notice the stance here going on. You're both facing each other. You're into each other. There's no walls. There's no barriers. All this like positive stuff going on. But like there isn't really any movement going on. The best way to say this is essentially it's going to be a bit of a long courting process for you two. It's going to take some time. It's going to seem really intense and extreme at first because you just kind of were really upfront with them, but the kind of time period it takes for them to express themselves, for it to all come together and be like absolutely where you need to be in the relationship, it's gonna take a long time. That's why I'm trying to point at all of these signs and things popping up for you, because it might take such a long time that you might at some point have doubt and think, this isn't the one. What did I do? I made a mistake. This isn't the person for me. But it is. It's just, you kind of need to go about it in the way you're going about it. You're gonna, don't worry, and this will give you some confidence. There's not gonna be any confusion when you're with each other, especially with the Moon card being here. Now we're gonna get to the Moon card. You're gonna be like inexplicably drawn to each other. They're not going to lead you on. There's not going to be any confusion they're into you, but that next level of depth is something that's going to take a while. But the cool thing is that the reason why I think it takes a bit of depth here is in the Moon card, it talks about a lot about subconscious, revealing yourself. And you're going to be building a lot of intuition with them. I know you already have a lot here for yourself, but you're going to have a deeper understanding of your subconscious in a way you've never before, and vice versa for them just being together. So the reason why the romance and the other stuff hasn't like fully kicked off yet is you kind of go through this beautiful journey together. The nice thing is you're going to be very comfortable. You're not going to have any competition. They're not going to dissuade you. They're not going to make you feel bad about doing your emotions, but it's going to be so slow. There's going to be a little too much time to think is the best way I can put it. And the reason why I wanted to keep comforting you and letting you know all of this stuff is because of this spread right here. In the Moon card and the Magician card in reverse, which is so funny, this comes right after each other. This is a lot of anxiety, disconnect. In the Moon card, it talks about how you're going to feel anxious during this time period because of all of this little too much room to think, so to speak, because we don't always meet our other person and it's just instant fire connection. We bought a house together the next day. Sometimes it takes some time to marinate, and that it doesn't make your love any less than anybody else's. So you might want to keep busy to distract yourself from the anxiety, but I dissuade you not to do that, because you're actually going to accidentally build up a wall between you and all of this other stuff going on. Your partner might think, like, feed onto that anxiety and think, oh, did I cause something wrong? I mean, don't. It's just poison to the developing relationship. You kind of have to sit with the unknown and be okay with that. And the Magician in reverse, it talks about being kind of, misdirected energies. You take on this anxiety and you're trying to help out, but it comes off, cluttered and not making sense. There's a lot of, disconnected messages between each other. And that is only because of how long this is going to take. It's only because of how vulnerable it is off the bat and not feeling like you're initially caught. You didn't get dropped, though. Think of it that way. You just jumped off of a plane and you haven't hit the comfortable ground yet with it. Maybe you're going to be held. Maybe they're sitting there waiting to hold you at the end. And my Lord, is the drop lasting? But you haven't hit the ground. That's the main thing to pay attention to. But have no fear. Then we've got the Ace of Swords here. So this is all about absolute mental clarity and focus and stuff like that. And you're going to have that in the relationship, how you talk to each other, understanding one another and yourself better than you ever have from just being with this person. And that's like the main thing you want to focus on. When you get a little kind of tidbit of knowledge or something that's kind of connecting or making sense, don't let all of the silence and empty space in between you seeing them or discussions become a bigger idea than the important small information. Think of it as like, when people on YouTube will comment and there might be a bunch of negative comments and that YouTuber will see it that way, but it's harder for them to feel happiness and appreciation for the one comment of someone being like, oh, I love your videos, or it changed my life, or something really positive. You got to focus on the good, even if it's smaller than the big. Just that's the main thing to focus on. So just know that when you meet them, you're going to know what to do. You're going to be okay. You can trust yourself. You've earned it. You're going to share it, but you're going to have to let them take the wheel and be okay with it. It's going to be slow, but you're going to be lots of comfort and reassurance. You're not going to have any doubt you're with them, and vice versa. No back and forths or break up, get back togethers. You're going to understand yourself in a great way. And focus. Focus on the good stuff. Don't let this other stuff come in. There's a potential for that if you let it, but it doesn't need to be. I'd probably suggest, honestly, if you feel nervous, just like meditate and like sit outside a lot. Try to get comfortable with the unknown, and you can enjoy all this positivity coming out. So if you enjoyed this spread, consider giving it a like and subscribing. It helps out the channel so much. But either way, guys, I just love doing that tarot read for you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for viewing this video. And let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3, how will you meet your soulmate? We've got Magical Map Shifter. 3 of Cups. I love this card. Isn't it so pretty with the little tiny leaves? 2 of Cups. Always a good sign of soulmate reading. Knight of Cups. Oh my goodness. 7 of Swords in reverse. The Star upright. Page of Cups. The Tower upright. Knight of Pentacles upright, And Judgment in reverse. This is, wow, that really was like a roller coaster. Okay, give me like a second to read this. All right, we've got a lot of interesting things going on here. Okay, so first we're starting off with Magical Map Shifter right here. This just straight up is a soulmate card, which seems redundant in this kind of reading, but it's just letting you know that this person coming into your life is coming in for a reason. There's going to be a lot of personal growth with them. And just straight up like soulmate, soulmate, soulmate. So this already feels to me like when you get together, it's going to be incredibly easy. Not a lot of resistance. Now, as I go forward, you might say, well, yeah, of course there's soulmate. Nope. Nope. Not everybody's soulmate journey and getting together is an easy one. Sometimes people have to learn things before they can really get together or have to go through things. Not you guys. Not at all. I'm seeing a lot of easygoing, free-flowing openness. So let's start off with the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups talks about how you guys are going to meet socially within a friend group, actually. Now, if you currently right now aren't seeing anybody in your friend group that kind of is fitting this vibe, because this is kind of an instant connection. This isn't somebody you've known for a very long time, you've been hanging out for a while. This is when you meet, it's going to be immediate. So if you don't already know them, this is a new friend group. In fact, I have a very good reading that this is going to be a new friend group. And that's because of the Two of Cups. Now, Two of Cups, yes, talks about being really open and loving. You're going to hear me say that like 10 million times because you have so many cards that are essentially throwing that in our faces about that and letting us know about that. But it also talks about embracing a different side of yourself. So ask yourself, is there something that you kind of are afraid to do? Maybe you're more introverted and you would never go out to the club. Go out to the club. Maybe you've always wanted to try something a little bit dangerous like rock climbing. Go on meetup.com and find a group of people that rock climb. I actually used to do that. There's tons of them. Go enjoy it. It's really fun. But the point I'm trying to say is do that. Because in doing that, you meet your new social group. You meet your other person, your soulmate. That leads us to a Nine of Cups. Knight of Cups is all about being, again, really open, loving, all that positive stuff. But it also talks about the idea of meeting someone who's very open, like wears their heart on their sleeve, kind of is earnest in that way, which is really sweet. Now, again, redundancy, you might say, well, of course, in a soulmate reading, of course you're going to be really open to it. Again, no, not everyone else's reading says that, not at all. And this is an important note to pay in mind of. Do not confuse wearing their heart on their sleeve and someone trying to manipulate you through sharing their emotions. So let's say they tell you that they are experiencing jealousy. That's good. That's great that they shared that. There's no mystery, no build-up fight. But what if they use that to prevent you from hanging out with friends or other people? That's not who we're talking about. We're talking about someone who lets you know that they're scared and they would never normally tell anybody else they're scared. You're also going to feel this weird, inexplainable reason to share things you normally would have not shared with other people with them as well. This also gets repeated again in the Seven of Swords reverse. It's all about sharing secrets, unburdening yourself. You're going to feel an intense, openly joyous, easygoing vibe with this person. There should be no resistance when you get together. Everything's just going to go amazingly smooth. And I have 2 reasons why I think that is in particular. But we're going to go to the star. The star is all about being in the flow of it. Again, like I said, you're going to hear me a million times being very open and whatever. But this is also the universe telling you something really important. So sometimes when changes or events happen in our life, it's all spirit. You can do whatever you want, you are, and not a factor in this coming into reality. It's all spirit. Other times, it's all on you. Spirit's not involved, and you've got to get it together yourself, and then, it'll all work out. This is a beautiful, even mix between both. So Spirit's helping you out, but you got to help yourself. So when you meet this person, you're going to feel intense positivity already. And then with them, they just kind of help grease the wheels and keep it going. It's just really easy getting along with them, all that good stuff. But you might say, well, don't you normally want to be a positive person? Like, isn't that what a lot of people strive for? No, not everybody. Some people are just trying to, pay the bills and they're focused on other things. Make positivity a important factor in your life. But again, another note, Spirit doesn't want you to be falsely positive, like say something's great when it's not. Just try to maybe look up some YouTube self-help videos. Try to figure out how can you see the green even in the desert, even if it's small. Try to find the positivity out of a situation, because that is what's going to skyrocket you towards trying something different and handling it with ease, which then leads you to meeting the friend group, which then leads to the romance that's like an instant connection. And also, I don't know if I already said this, I forgot if I did or not, but I want to point out with the Knight of Cups, this is going to be like an instant hookup. There's going to be an immediate sensual and sexual attraction between the two of you. There's not going to really be any traditional rules in this relationship of like, wait this long. It's going to be kind of an instant and very, very, very deep connection. Again, we get this repeated again in the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is about affection, admiration, all this like really positive stuff again, but it's also about how you guys are going to be speaking a lot indirectly. So in addition to already being really open with each other, hanging out, meeting, there's going to be a lot of texting, a lot of emails. In fact, actually, while there might be an instant connection immediately, if there is any sort of separation, maybe they have to go travel or something like that, trust me, this person is going to be letting you know what they're up to every moment of the day. You're going to have, with all of this repetition in the cards, this is going to be somebody who, as soon as you meet them and get together, it's not going to take, in this modern day when you meet, when you say, if someone's like, is that your new boyfriend? It might take a month to sometimes 6 before you're like, yes, we're together. No, this person's like immediate. You meet them, that's it, you're together. And with all this communication going on, all this instant connection, you're just going to feel as if they are an extra limb. You're not going to remember life before them. It's going to be that wonderful of a connection and just so seamless between the two of you without any fighting or disagreements or interference, which is beautiful. Now, something I do want to point out is that I see a lot of like distance from some sort of housing or family situation. This could mean anything from you guys have a lot of this blooming and getting together during a time period where maybe you're traveling together in some note. But I'm getting a stronger, and Spirit's also adding into that there's a stronger connection that, when your family is like all up in your business and they're calling you too much, they're whatever, and then there's time periods where they leave you alone and it just seems like you're an independent person for a time period. Both of you are going to be very separated from your family at this time when you meet. So you're not going to be meeting during a holiday or any type of, if someone got pregnant or something like that. None of that's happening on either side of your situations. Both of you are meeting, and it's just a lot of openness. It's like summer break, essentially. It couldn't get any better, basically. Gosh, do you watch Black Books? It makes me think of like, I want a summer girl. Anyways, that's a side note. So let me get back to the reading. So this here is just a little bit concerning, but don't worry. This is kind of how it starts before you meet. Yes, you will try something new and make a friend group and all this like positivity, but it kind of starts in an interesting way. So in the Tower, yes, this again, repetitive, like I said, this is just letting you know this is the end-all be-all person you're going to meet, that this is going to be a whirlwind romance, but also it talks about a very dramatic change, something that's quite upsetting and intense for you. But I unfortunately see some denial, not wanting to face it. It's hard to handle, which is understandable and very scary for most dramatic changes in people's lives. I get that with the Judgment card in reverse. But take note of what Spirit is trying to let you know about in the Knight of Pentacles. Spirit's like, listen, I know you're going through this tough time right now, but you're going to need to find the discipline and kind of push through, focus, get it done. No more excuses. The sooner you get it done and push through this and stop kind of avoiding the situation that you're going through, the sooner you can realize it's all behind you, connect to your positivity, start trying out things. This is all going to be past you, but this is kind of going to be a bit of the kickoff right here, this Tower card. So keep that in mind, that, you know, that something scary kind of might happen. And this doesn't necessarily mean scary. This could just be like a dramatic change and you could be fine. But it might jar you enough to start wanting to do things that wouldn't be the wisest course of action. This could be overly planning in the future. This could be maybe you picked the wrong person to agree with. You kind of need to pull back and consider it something that you take one task at a time, but consider it something to get done. Remove your emotions, push forward. Because the second you clear this out of your life, you are nothing but an open vessel. And because this relationship is so open and heartfelt, this is like a good thing. It's like, it's kind of almost in a weird way cleaning and sweeping the spread. But yeah, so far from all the other groups I've read so far, yours is the easiest and most like whirlwindy romantic experience I've seen. So look forward to like really bright, easy times ahead. Stay positive, stay open, but keep in mind that you shouldn't just go around like being open to everyone, telling everyone your secrets. Like, relax. You'll know them when you meet them. Trust me. It's going to happen. It's destiny. Trust me. So, I hope you enjoyed your reading as much as I enjoyed giving it. Group number 3, consider giving a like. It helps out just so much. And consider subscribing because I have more pick-a-cards. But either way, guys, thank you so much for viewing it. Thank you. Just taking a moment out of your day. It means the world to me. Have a lovely day, and let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4. Let's find out how you're going to meet your soulmate. Your first card is Deep Freeze, Knight of Pentacles, King of Cups, who can totally get it, I might add, but that's a side note. 4 of Cups, Knight of Cups, Ace of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, all upright so far. The Hierophant, also upright. Ooh, and 4 of Pentacles, everything's upright. Okay. Not that that really matters, but that's just a side note. Okay, so let me look at this for a second. Okay, so here's a little sneak peek into when I usually read. Usually when soulmates come into somebody's life, you are at your best. You feel your best. This is not the cardinal rule in the least, but it's just a common thing I've both personally experienced, seen, and I would say like 85 to 90% of my reads when it comes to meeting somebody involves giving a message that helps that person be the best version they can be, whether that involves letting go of a past trauma, focusing on, X, Y, and Z, whatever it is, it's about being your best self. Your spread is really interesting because it's about you're not in a great place in your life. Not the worst. You don't have to worry about anything too chaotic, but we can start here with the Deep Freeze, which is really interesting. Essentially, this is described as the pregnant pause, and it talks about the idea that you're stuck. And that's okay. That's a good thing. That actually gets repeated again here in the 4 of Cups. And the idea behind the Deep Freeze is that you're just not ready to bloom yet, that you need to hibernate, so to speak. And you're kind of focusing too much is where I get here in the Knight of Pentacles, that you were focusing on something too heavily and obsessing over it. It's like being a workaholic and not going anywhere from this all this effort. and you kind of finally gave up and you're like, okay, I'm exhausted. I can see I'm not going anywhere. I guess I'm just going to have to kind of take a unexpected, unintended break, so to speak. So this is kind of when everything kicks off and your soulmate pops into your life. Here they're represented by the King of Cups and you're represented by the Four of Cups. You're stuck. You're unable to move. There's a little, now the Four of Cups can be described as choosing to be stuck, and you are choosing to, not choosing to be stuck, but choosing to ride this out, so to speak. And you're kind of, at this point in your life, a little more analytical, a little more in your mind too much. And this is when your soulmate kind of pops in at the right time. Like I said, instead of it being you feeling the best, complete, the puzzle pieces all coming together before you meet them, it's like they are your puzzle piece. The King of Cups, your partner at this time in their life, is able to handle a lot of different emotional things going on all at once with ease. They're very generous, they get along with other people, and they're there to hear you out. They're not going to take on your stress. They're not going to take on all of your overthinking or focusing too much. They're going to be able to help you, hear you, be there for you, and help you kind of give you a different perspective and sort through all of these emotions together. Now this is when a really beautiful thing kind of happens. This is when you kind of get unstuck, the next level of your life, and they're a part of that. So right away, Spirit's jumping in right now and wants you to know that you're going to meet in some sort of green field. This could be a college campus, this could be a park. It's something to do with a green field. That is getting repeated to me over and over again. And I'm also getting told that your romance is going to be something that is kind of, you don't know they are your romance, that it kind of, you'll be courting unexpectedly, like you don't even realize you're courting, and one day you both will wake up and realize and be out of denial and be like, oh wait, we're soulmates. Like it's going to be potentially like a friends with benefits type thing, or you're spending a lot of time together. There's a lot of denial to your friends of like, oh no, they're just friends. I don't know if I'm ready for that, or I don't know if they think of me that way. But they're spending all their time with you, and then one day you hook up and it all just kind of works out. Because we get a beautiful thing going on here. We have the Knight of Cups representing, romantic, sensual, and then we have the Ace of Swords representing like new ideas, mental clarity. So what happens is, mixed with the romance you're feeling with them, physical or otherwise, can just be romantic too, but I'm getting physical, so I do think you're going to have a friends with benefits situation going on before you're officially together. You're going to experience a lot of like epiphanies, so to speak, on a deeper level, not just with each other, but it's much more of a like the world type of idea. There's a lot of like, oh, like this equals that. Oh, did you know we're all connected? That type of greater type of idea or concept. But then when those two things come together, between the epiphanies, the romantic, like the emotional and the brain, this is when we get the Queen of Pentacles. And this is just absolutely beautiful. You will go from being stuck to not just blooming, but like skyrocketing. Like imagine a million flowers everywhere. You're going to feel connected to everything, everyone. It is going to have such a profound, deep meaning and understanding. And then this is what leads to this absolutely awesome spread right here. So the Ten of Swords is the ending of this deep freeze that you're feeling here. It's all going to kind of click off the second you guys realize you're soulmates. It's like you're having epiphanies, you're having a nice time, and then suddenly you realize you're into each other. Everything, and when you realize, when you feel connected to everything and everyone, that's when you realize, oh wait, we're soulmates. You see kind of what everyone else was already seeing. And then that ends the deep freeze and leads to, and this is where it's really beautiful, in the beginning of your soulmate kind of like, okay, we're officially soulmates, we're together type of thing, you're going to both feel motivated to take this, symbiotic relationship you have with each other and your new interests and education, and take that from more of an organic, like you figured it out in your own due time through conversation, to like hitting the books. I could see you taking a class together. I could see you talking to other people that are well researched, just reading books. There's just going to be some sort of it all coming together and going, because at heart, with the whole mind thing going on, you are very fulfilled in a relationship together, but you both are, you've now met and you want to go out into the world together with that. With it, you know, you don't want to just purely be in each other's face being soulmates. You want to use that in effect outwards. And that leads to the Four of Pentacles here. This is your security. This is your knowledge of knowing that you finally met your, you know, your other puzzle piece. It all comes together. Their emotion, you're more of the mind. Not that you don't have emotions. It's just that it's kind of like this beautiful system of it all coming together. Both of you have the answers. You're only going to move forward. You're not going to feel this again. You have the security of knowing you can rely on them, that you can trust them, that they're going to get you, and it's just a lot of positivity here, essentially. So I thought that is really fun and interesting, like I said before, because I'm more used to the opposite, but they're going to be the thing that gets you together. Normally they say don't date people when you don't have your life figured out. Go for it. This is your person. And kind of turn off your blinders, let it happen organically, because you're not going to know, and I kind of get the vibe that it's for the betterment of the overthinking of the mind. If you don't know you're developing a soulmate ship. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of go with it. If you want to kiss them and hang out, don't worry about it. They're not seeing other people. They're not, you know, cheating on you or anything like that. It's all going to kind of come together beautifully. But like, when you know it, everything else will come together. Just let it happen. So pretty awesome read. I loved reading it as usual. Please consider giving it a like and subscribing. It just helps out the channel so much. But either way, guys, thank you so much for viewing this tarot read. I loved doing it. I love you guys in the most platonic way possible. Bye.